Victoria wants to be alone. I'm not going to disturb her.
Do you need anything, sir?
Not really. I was just passing by. I haven't any reason to go into the sub. Its water used to be crystal clear. The window of my room. Now it works as it should. Whatever it is, it seems incomplete. Chocolate sweets with almond in the middle. I have always liked these. A common metal coin. There's quite a lot of money in it. I often have headaches these days. I'd better keep them. William's mourning card. I don't know what we could... No letter. I have no reason to leave. I already took a picture of it. I have nothing to tell him. Victoria is in the common room. We've already said everything there is to say. It's destroyed like the rest of the room because of the unfortunate fire many years ago. This place is making me remember all those horrible events. I don't need anything else from it. I have no idea where the key could be. I should ask Victoria. I should. can't see anything special here. The entire outer rim is full of old symbols and signs. No one understands what they mean these days. He won't tell me anything more today. Tomorrow, I will go. It seems the local parish has been here for a very, very long time. According to the oldest books and records, it has been here for so long that only the walls of our castle may remember its foundation. Marcus Gordon had the church built so long ago that the date has already been lost in the mists of time. Therefore, the actual age of the building can only be estimated. As in the past, there was no accurate record-keeping. Should we hold to the views of respected historians, it was around 1215 AD that the church was built. It is thought that Marcus had the church built on pagan lands where many innocent people died through the ages. There is no corresponding record to this, however. Not one mention in any books or volumes available to me at the manor or the vicarage. Therefore, from a historic standpoint, this is a mere assumption, or worse, one of the many fictitious legends circulating in these lands. One thing, however, is more certain. It was this age that also gave rise to the academy at Black Mirror. As with Warmhill Church, it was Marcus who was responsible for the construction of such a significant building. The new academy, with its vast library, was supposed to serve as a knowledge base for all the people. It was also a safe place for depositing the chronicle of the Gordon family that Marcus ordered his wise men to protect. In this, however, fate was not kind to Marcus. The whole academy burnt to stone long after his death, around 1512 AD. Despite the vigorous effort of the people at the manor, who hurried to the disaster to fight the flames, the academy burned to the ground. When they saw there was no chance to save the building, they tried to save the records from inside. Not everyone was willing to risk their life in lethal heat for the scraps of paper that had been scribbled over. If it hadn't been for a few brave souls, however, we would have never known who Marcus Gordon was, nor some of the history of Black Mirror Manor, as most chronicles were lost to the flames. Garmoor Gordon perished in the fire at the age of 45. For his bravery, eternal memory is held. There was no one left of the academy to care for the remaining records and old books. Consequently, the volumes that remained were passed on to the Warmhill parish to the safekeeping of Father Matthias. Father Matthias took meticulous care of the historical treasure until his death in 1543. To that holy man, the people of Garmore Gordon are grateful for the preservation of the chronicle and the old records. Since those times, the Gordon family chronicle has been handed over from one successor of Father Matthias to the next, until today. Recorded by hand of Jeremy Gordon, 1632 AD. I know I should leave Victoria alone, but I must ask her about the key to William's study in the tower. One of my distant ancestors, Durgam Gordon. This canvas is at least 300 years old. Strange that time has not faded it. Durgam Gordon. I have nothing to look for in these drawers. It most likely contains Victoria's personal things. I won't be opening it. An old issue of a magazine on nature, Nature Will. I haven't the time to read now. In the past, we used to have our own stable of full-blooded stallions. Some of them won many races. All that fame is long lost now. A souvenir of one of our champion horses. Lucky Arrow. 9 victories in one season. I can't remember the name. Probably one of the older stallions. Yes, 1890. Lucky Arrow, 1890.
Чувам ли са?
Да. Отиде ли сме?
Малко тихо се чуваш.
Сега?
Сега е по-добре.
Излъчваш ли вика меч?
Аз се играя.
Чай, че къде беше линка тук?
Искаш линк ли?
Чакай, аз ще намеря останата ти, ще ви гледам. Аз се оправя. Има ли зрители? Да видим.
Има един човек. Но не се обадял да каже кой е.
Да не е бай Балчан. Той бай Балчан ще се обади, ако той.
Но той върна ли се?
Мисля, че да. Днеска е четвъртък, да. Трябва да е тук.
Как ще е четвъртък днеска? Днеска е петък, бе.
Да, петък е. Значи, да. Значи трябва да си и тук. С нощи.
Я ми кажи сега. Субтитрите добре ли се виждат?
И също така.
Victoria, I know you want to be
Картината е много добре,
alone,
иначе
but I
на
must
цял
ask you about something that only you
Да,
can
много добре,
answer.
перфектно.
May I speak with you for
Понеже
a
има
while,
на два
Victoria?
някой път на три реда и
Maybe it will
Nee,
help
nee,
to get
добре
some
са.
fresh
Да,
thoughts. Memories can become so tiring.
понеже
During
предния
the
път,
last
като
few
гледах
years,
записа
I have
и
had plenty of time with
не
my
се
thoughts.
виждаха вторите и
What
третите
is it that you
редове.
want to talk about, Samuel?
Victoria, why was William hiding away in his study? No one saw him go outside, and he would not let anyone in. Why all the secrecy?
I don't know, Samuel. About half a year ago, he closed himself in that damn tower and spent whole days and nights there. He never told me what he was doing. When I asked, he merely stated that he was looking for the truth and that he would not stop until he found it. It entirely absorbed him, and you know how it ended. I hope that he has found his truth.
I hoped I would not have to return to this place ever again. And even now, I'm not sure if I should have.
I did not dare hope you would come. The letters to you were all returned, and no one from the family had seen you in years. As time passed, we assumed you were dead.
I didn't open a single one of them. I wanted to forget it all. Only that morning letter. I had to open that one. Maybe I should have left it unread, like the other ones.
Your words are cold, Samuel.
If it hadn't been for William's death, I would have never returned. I returned because of William only. I don't expect you to understand it. Bates isn't looking well. He's old and very tired. He should take a rest.
I would suggest that to him myself, but I know he does not want to be alone right now. He and William were friends long before I knew him. He has worked here all his life, just like his father before him. He feels comfortable to be with us, I am sure.
That person who was with us at the funeral, who is he?
Dr. Herman, our family physician. But it would be more accurate to say our family friend.
I had never heard of him.
Well, how could you? He moved here long after you had gone away. He's a good man. He was a friend to William and has helped us a good deal. Until William began avoiding people, they were often together. Why are you interested in Heinz?
I don't know him, so I wanted to know who he is. Do you need anything, Victoria?
No, thank you, Samuel. I am all right. Maybe just... No, you needn't worry. I'll ask Bates.
That new gardener, Henry. I've heard he drinks.
He is not new here. He has been working for us for over a year now. What you have heard is true, but it does not happen very often. Except for that particular habit, he is polite and hard-working.
I'm surprised you're saying this. Does his drinking not bother you?
Well, I do, but I would have trouble finding anyone else for the job.
Replacing him with a new gardener couldn't possibly be a problem, could it?
Maybe not a few years ago, but now... You haven't been here in a long time. A lot has changed, Samuel. No one wants to work for us, not after what happened. People are superstitious. They see dark forces in everything. I'm glad that he has stayed, even if my garden looks so miserable. But why are you asking about Henry? Is it that you know something about him that I should know too?
Уважай ли истина?
Ами, кажи им истината на нея. Тя беше кадърна.
Не.
No, not really.
Тя беше ли?
Morris said Henry acts strangely from time to time.
Morris? That hardly surprises me. He is strange himself. If I had someone to take over his job, he wouldn't be here now. That reminds me. I ordered him to board up the old well, so there is no possibility of an accident there. Samuel, would you please see to it that he does it today?
Of course. I spoke with Robert about the old wing. He said its walls were the only remnants of the original castle.
That is true. It is all that survived the burn.
I do not recall anyone that had conquered the castle in the past.
No one conquered it, at least not in the true sense of the word. The castle was half destroyed in a conflict between the first Gordons. Marcus knew he could not rise against his brother's people directly. Therefore, he decided to take him by surprise in the secret chapel deep under the castle. Mordred realized this too late, and the consequences were terrible. But those are merely old legends, just old stories.
What happened to Marcus after Mordred died?
He became the lord of the manor and died a long time later, a tired old man. As a tribute to his leadership, they buried him in a secret crypt. Today no one knows where his body rests.
Do any further records of his life still exist?
None that I know of.
That secret chapel you have spoken of, it must be somewhere beneath us.
Nobody has ever found a trace of the entrance, let alone the whole chapel, Samuel. It's merely an old legend from the Chronicle.
Can you have a look at this picture? Do you know who this man is?
I've seen that face before. Yes, but not exactly this one.
What do you mean?
He was much younger than this picture,
Зрителите
but
са
it was
вече.
the same person.
So, who is it?
William
Да,
once
някой
brought
се
an
появи.
orphan here and offered him food and shelter for a couple of days. He lived for a time outside by the stable, a humble, quiet boy.
Do you know what his name was?
It was a very long time ago. I cannot remember. He stayed with us for quite some time. But then he completely changed. It was as if he had gone mad. We could not let him stay here after that. They took him to Ashbury.
What happened to him then?
I really do not know. As I said, it was a very long time ago. Robert might remember. It was he who accepted that boy as a patient.
Victoria, I need the key to William's study. I know that you insist that no one go in there, but
No one is allowed to set foot in there. Why are you talking about that place to me, Samuel? Why are you making me think of it?
I just wanted...
Go away. I need to be alone now.
Of course.
Спокойно.
Леко деликатно ни баш.
Често трябва да говорим. И слоня в конюшната да закове кладеница. После му правим в града.
I need to speak with you, Robert.
Sure.
I showed the picture we talked about yesterday to Victoria. She said she knew the man, that he had lived for some time near the castle. Are you sure you don't know who he is?
Let me see the picture again. I'm not quite certain, but he resembles one of my patients in the institution. It could possibly even be him. I do not see where this picture could have come from, though.
Maybe we can find out. Who could have brought a picture of some madman to the castle? And why? I will go now.
All right. Feel free to come back if you need anything, Samuel.
Yes, sir.
Morris, what are you going to do when you're finished with the wood?
I don't know yet, but there's always enough work around here. Have you got anything special for me?
Victoria would like the old well boarded up.
I know about that, sir. I'll get to it shortly.
I will go then.
All right, sir.
Има да направя един сейф. Она честичко, че.
Да, за всеки случай не се налага нищо стане да преиграш.
I don't want to leave now. I must find out more.
Все още не му се ходи в града. Не проверихме почтата. Макар че като имам празна шема.
There is nothing in it. I don't know what we could talk about.
Здравей.
Мерси.
Do you need anything, sir?
I would like to ask you about something.
Certainly, sir.
Bates, I said something inappropriate to Victoria. Do you think she will accept my apology?
Certainly, sir. Madam has a good heart. But, if I may advise you, sir, offer your apology as soon as possible.
I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
I haven't any reason to go into the cellar. Should apologize. May I speak with you for a while, Victoria?
Of course, Samuel.
I'd like to apologize for what I said before.
I may have been hasty in my response as well. I had that key destroyed so that no one can ever enter the tower again. Maybe William had another key, I do not know.
Where are his personal belongings now?
I do not know. Ask Herman.
Ask Herman.
I do not want to talk about it.
Look at this stone fragment. Does it mean anything to you?
No, I wouldn't say so. But yes, I have seen something similar on William's desk. He was very careful with that thing. Only I don't know what the big deal was. He never spoke about it.
Така. Хърман, това кой беше?
Хърмани, това е библиотеката доктора с немски акцент.
Дали ще е още там? Преместил се на другите рафтове.
Doctor, can I have a word with you?
Yes, all right.
Dr. Herman, Victoria told me you had William's personal belongings.
Yes, that is true.
I would like to see them.
Sure, I can show them to you when you come to the morgue tomorrow. I just do not have any idea what you are expecting.
Well, I must see them today. Can you help me?
Today? Well, all right. Maybe we could do it like this. I will send someone to the main
Right,
gate with a
как ничего
parcel for
себе.
you. Will that do?
Perfectly. What time will this person come?
I will send him as soon as I get back to the autopsy room. Let us say 7 o'clock.
I'll be waiting in front of the main gate at exactly 7 o'clock. It's very important. I hope the person is reliable.
Do not fear. He will be well paid. Settled?
Thank you, Doctor. At 7, I have to be in front of the gate.
А сега колко часа? Това е сложният въпрос.
Тук трябваше да се поразходиш докато мине време. Много добре си спомням, защото го проверях много често за часа.
Време, аз докато отида до входа.
No let.
Пусна ме до града. Ще мине време.
I'm glad to see this place again. William often took me here when I was just a little boy. Oh well, it's such a long time, but my memories are as clear as yesterday morning. How many years have I actually been away? It must be hundreds of years old. It seems to be on the verge of dying. It's locked. stairs for launching the boats. It would be easier to cross the river using the bridge. The stones of the steps are damp and slippery. A lot of filth is floating. Who could be throwing things in? I don't know who lives there. The day's menu. Roe deer on cream. Wild boar shoulder. Gamekeeper style. Harry's wife always did cook well. Maybe I'll have something later. I'm not hungry yet. It's empty. How many times have I seen this sign? I'm not sure. It's full of dirty water. Maybe Harry puts it under the gutter when it's raining. It could use emptying. The lids are firmly shut. These are certainly still full of beer. The Black Bison, Harry's own production. Hi, what's your name?
I won't tell you that. I must not talk to strangers, and Mum has forbidden me.
So, will you tell me your name if I tell you mine?
No, I don't know you. Have you got some sweets? Maybe some chocolate?
Would you like some sweets?
Sure, that would be great. Are they chocolate?
I don't really know. My name is Samuel Gordon. Will you tell me your name too?
Well, why not then? I'm Vic.
Do you know of anything interesting going on around here? I haven't been in this place in a very long time.
Probably not.
Трябва да направите един
Nothing
такъв
much
old
happens
school
here.
adventure,
This
ще е много
village
по-яко
is
от тия
terribly boring, you know.
I see.
Can I go play again?
Of course. Watch out for the windows.
Yeah, don't worry.
Vic, have you ever seen the man in this picture?
Let me see. No, I guess I haven't. I would have surely remembered that one. He looks
Видиш един
pretty
бомбон,
steep.
ще каже, че го е видял.
Why are you looking for him, Samuel? Are you related?
You had better watch your mouth.
Come on, that was just a joke.
KDM Transport Services. It's probably used for carrying beer kegs.
Отворена кръчмата.
An advertising poster. Harry has been collecting old posters like these.
Поръча една бира.
За всичко има време.
Good morning.
Hello, sir.
I haven't been here in a long time. What can you tell me about the manor?
Well, I'm not sure where to begin, but really, there isn't much in the way of news. Hold on. You seem familiar to me. Haven't we met at the winter feasts?
No, I don't think so.
But I do know you. See, I'm pretty good with faces. What about last month during the vintage? Is that it?
Listen,
Yeah, I know. You probably owe me something and aren't comfortable with my having recognized you, right?
I owe you nothing, Harry.
Did you say Harry? Tom, this young lad here is calling me Harry, but he says he doesn't know me.
let him annoy you, sir. He's been trying that on strangers for as long as I remember.
I just...
Is there a problem with the fact that I want me money back?
There wouldn't be any if you weren't making those debts up.
Bah! Indeed. You're the right one to say that. Should I show you your last month's bill?
Right, calm down. I was just advocating this young fellow here, because he's a stranger and he doesn't know those tricks of yours.
Okay, I've had enough. One more word and you're not getting a pint of water on credit. Or, let me tell you what. I'll pour you nothing until you pay off the whole debt.
Come on, Harry. Don't be a cheapskate.
Listen, if you let me finish, I'll tell you who I am.
Sounds great. I'm listening.
I am Samuel Gordon, the son of Randall Gordon, of Castle Blackmirror.
Why didn't you say so right away?
Well, I tried to, but you wouldn't actually let me speak.
Okay, well that gives things a nice twist. A Gordon is always welcome here. So, what can I get you? Today, we have smoked venison on the menu, along with a good stuffed beer.
No, thanks. Maybe later. I'd like to ask a couple of questions, though.
Oh, sure.
Harry, what's new in the village?
Things happen, but there isn't much news.
How should I understand that?
Well, I hear a lot of gossip, but nothing worth mentioning. You see, we all know one another here, so nothing's too interesting.
Maybe. That's going to change now.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it does.
Harry, until what time are you open?
Well, that depends, but usually late into the night. You see, I don't sleep much, and when I'm not doing something, I'm usually pretty bored.
But not many folks show up so late, do they?
I usually play cards with Tom here, or I play chess with myself.
Oh, you play chess?
I'd say I've learned to play well during all those long nights.
Let's play together sometime then.
Sure.
I remember William bringing me here.
Yup, so do I. He was a serious poker player, you know. Incredibly lucky with the cards. He would totally clear us out, but then he would return everything. Yeah, he was a nice bloke. That's a real shame he stopped coming here.
Why?
Who knows? We were all on good terms. But the last 6 months, he didn't show up once.
Well, it's a bit of a distance, and at his age.
Nah, I wouldn't say that was the reason. William was always a tough old gent. I'll tell you something, though. They say he wouldn't even come out of the castle, and instead locked himself away in the old tower to study some old volumes and stuff.
Where did you hear that?
Well, I told you, I hear things from time to time.
What else have you heard?
Nothing. But maybe Mark knows something. He used to help out in the manor garden.
Where can I find him?
He would normally be here by now, so he's probably not going to turn up today.
Never mind. I'll ask him some other time. As if William was hiding something. I have to know more about the last months of his life.
Айде следващия.
Hello.
Hello.
How long have you been sitting here?
A few hours, I guess. Why do you want to know?
Сега ще го разпита половин час.
Oh, do you mind?
No, not really. Why don't you sit down and have a mug of beer with me? Harry doesn't seem to be very talkative today.
I don't have as much time as you do.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. I just don't have time.
Then don't stand around talking to me, and you're going to save a little.
How long have you owed Harry money?
That's my business, not yours. Or do you want to pay up for me?
Should I?
Well, I overheard your conversation about old Sir William.
Do you know anything that might be interesting to me?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. My memory is fogging up. It's probably the thirst, you know.
Oh, I see. I know where he's coming from. I'll pay off his debt, and then I'll ask again.
Ajde, nije na druge.
Changed your mind about the dinner? My Mary makes some wonderful meals. Everyone around here will tell you that.
I believe you. I'm just not hungry yet. I would like to ask a couple of questions, though.
Okay, feel free.
Will you change your mind about that debt of Tom's? It's partly my fault, you know.
I'd be glad to, but then he wouldn't pay it off next month either. They say he who doesn't pay should not drink.
Well, there is some truth to that. I have decided to pay off Tom's debt.
But why would you want to do that, Mr. Gordon?
I just want to. Could you sum it up?
Okay, well, as you wish. At £17.
All right. Here.
Well, I've no idea what Tom might have promised you, but you better not believe him.
That's none of your business. So what is his bill like now?
All clear.
Good.
What do you want from me?
I'd just like to ask about something.
All right.
Tell me, is anything interesting going on in the village?
Here? No. In fact, I don't remember anything interesting ever happening around here. In Willow Creek, nothing ever changes.
I saw a fisherman on the shore on my way here. Do you know him?
Oh, Jim? Of course I know him. He's my uncle from my mother's side.
Is he always sitting there, fishing? He appears to have been sitting there the whole day.
Yeah, he's the most patient person I've ever known. He spends hours on that pier just sitting. I wouldn't last a single hour, you know.
I have done what you have asked. Now it's your turn.
Той е малко
Right,
порад
I
беше.
heard you. I guess you have done me a good turn.
So what do you know about William?
I'll tell you what I've heard. Nothing more, nothing less.
I'm listening.
People have said that from time to time, Sir William would go to the vicarage at night.
That's all? What's so strange about him going to church?
Nothing much, I'd guess, if it hadn't been late after midnight.
Oh, that is strange indeed.
Just ask the gravedigger or the vicar. They both saw him. But don't mention me if you decide to go see him. They needn't know that I told you anything.
Oh, thank you. I need to speak with Mark. You probably know each other.
Yeah, we've known each other for years, but he's not here today.
Do you know where he works? I would like to go see him.
Mark only works when he must. He hasn't got a permanent job. But try old Murray. Or Herman. He does something for both of them from time to time.
So, how's it going?
All right, I guess. Why don't you take a chair?
I'm a little short on time. Some other day, perhaps.
Never mind, I'm used to drinking alone.
I have nothing. The old fish market. I remember when old Mr. Fenton died, there was no one to take care of the fish market. I don't know what is there now, and I'm not interested. "10 minutes to 2. the time is not correct. It probably doesn't work at all. It's broken. Davison, William's friend and lawyer, lived here. He moved away a long time before Catherine died. He always said he wouldn't be able to do much around here as a lawyer. He decided to move to Berkeley with his family. I have not heard of him since. I have no clue as to who lives in Davison's house today. I have no reason to go inside. Private house. No one is answering. The door is locked. Perhaps no one is home. It has several small holes in its side. It's not likely used by anyone anymore. It has several small holes in its side. It's not likely. Old cardboard boxes, damp from the rain. This is probably where Murray throws out what he no longer needs. Various objects, porcelain statues, gold watches, breast pins. Mostly trinkets. There's nothing interesting there. The door is locked. There is a sign that reads, "I'll be right back, Murray." But who knows if it hasn't been hanging here for a week already. Vic, have you seen Murray today? His shop is closed.
Why should I care about his shop?
Why? Is there a problem?
Well, that old man doesn't like me hanging around that shop of his. Or rather around those glass cases. I've got no idea what his problem is.
I may have one.
Oh, I do remember seeing him leave this morning.
Do you have an idea when he will be returning?
Judging by how he sharpened himself up, he must have gone into town. So he's probably not going to return before tomorrow.
No.
Oops!
What was that?
Ajde.
What's this here? A ball? Vic! I know it was you, and I know you can hear me. Just you wait till I catch you. I'll beat you within an inch of your life. Ah, damn. Now I'll have to clean all this mess.
Забавните моменти.
I suspect Vic is not going to show up for a while.
Hello, sir. Will you sit down?
No, I really can't. Maybe some other time.
Never mind. I'm used to drinking alone. Later then.
See you.
What'll it be, sir?
I'd like to ask about something.
Sure, go ahead.
I came upon a closed pawn shop. Is it ever open?
Sure. Old Murray would never close the shop without a reason. He probably had to leave. Some business of his own, no doubt.
You don't speak well of him.
Not many do. Everyone knows he's an old sly boots. The only thing he cares about is cheating people in that old junk shop. Well, what would you expect from an old cheapskate?
Направи един сейф.
Играта оплаши да правиш сейф.
Да, защото като отворя сега картата и...
The Worm Hill Parish. The main entrance is closed and only opens on Sundays. I've got to use the cider.
Днеска няма много зрители. Викаш, картината днеска по-хубава ли?
И мисля, че да.
Качвах малко качеството.
The church is locked.
Преди беше на 480p, сега е на 720.
The church is locked.
Тъй, че би трябвало да има разлика.
Good afternoon. Have you time for a little talk?
I never hurry anywhere, unlike everyone else around here.
I'm interested in learning about the parish and this cemetery. I think you're the right man to ask.
Maybe. I've been helping Father Frederick for many years now. I know the names on all the graves. What do you want to know?
Tell me, how old is this parish?
No one knows how old exactly, but this cemetery and church are much older than anything in the neighborhood. A long time ago, they used to bury heretics here. They say there's a system of corridors under the cemetery where the souls of the innocent wander looking for a way out. You know, I've seen quite a lot all these years here, but...
For instance?
Well, it was a long time ago, but some years back I heard something like the voice of a child in the distance. It was moaning and singing verses. At first I thought it was just an illusion, but then I could no longer contain my curiosity and went outside to have a look. I followed the sound of the voice, but the closer I got, the less audible the voice became.
Maybe it was just a child playing nearby.
2 hours after midnight? I don't think so. Plus, look around. There are graves far and wide. But that's past now. I have no idea what it was, and I do not want to know. I don't even know why I'm telling you this.
Have you heard the voice again, or anything similar?
I've already told you enough. Don't tell anyone about this. I don't want to look like an old fool.
You said you have known Father Frederick for many years. What can you tell me about him?
Father Frederick is the best man I know. He took me in when I was orphaned and raised me as his son. For that I will be grateful to him for the rest of my life, and I will be around to help him as long as I am able to. But if you want to talk to him, you will have to wait until he returns from the neighboring manor.
I see. Thanks. Tell me, what is your name actually?
Mine? No one calls me anything other than Gravedigger. Father Frederick's Gravedigger. And I don't mind if you have questions about it. It's true anyway. And you are a Gordon, right?
Yes, Samuel Gordon.
So you're the grandson of old Mr. William?
Yes.
I saw you at the funeral.
Of course.
Добре,
Did you know William?
No, not personally.
Добре, имаш
I would see him from time to time, though. He used to go inside the church.
Респектираш.
How often?
Not that often, but when he did show up, he was always in a hurry, as if he knew he didn't have much time left.
Did he ever speak with you?
No, I told you I did not know him well.
But he would speak with Father Frederick, wouldn't he?
You will have to ask Father that yourself.
I will. Thanks. I've heard that you sometimes saw William come to the vicarage late at night. Is that true?
Who told you that?
That's not important. So is it true?
I don't care to talk about it. I don't want to look for problems.
Whatever you tell me will stay just between us.
It's not like I think I can trust you, but since you're a Gordon, I'll tell you what I've seen. Everyone who knew old Sir William thought he was a bit of a madman. Please don't get offended. And later, when he refused to see anyone, the gossip began floating about. I'm telling you this so that you know I'm not making up what I'm going to tell you next.
Go on.
I first saw him here some 6 months ago. I was sitting in my cabin, about to go to bed. I saw a light. It was someone approaching the church. In the 20 years that I've been working here, no one has ever come here this late. So I went outside to check out what was going on. I saw a figure concealed in a dark coat walking among the graves. He was looking for something, his head down to the ground.
Was it William?
At that moment I had no idea who it was. I couldn't see his face in the darkness. He spent some 20 minutes there, going round, mumbling something.
What was he saying?
Well, I observed him from a distance. It wasn't audible.
So what happened next?
The church door opened, and he made for it right away. I cautiously followed him. Father Frederick was standing in the doorway. It seemed as if he was expecting that person. It was only then I realized it was Sir William, because I was close enough to recognize his voice. He and the father had a long conversation then, and Sir William was waving his hand vigorously about during most of it. They finally went inside, and that is all I saw.
Do you know anything more?
I never stick my nose in other people's business.
Thanks for telling me this.
I only told you because you're Sir William's grandson. Now leave me alone. I have to finish my work here.
Why was William meeting with Father Frederick in the middle of the night? May I have a look inside the church?
You have to wait for Father Frederick to return. The church is going to stay locked until then.
But you can open it, can't you?
It doesn't matter. It's going to stay locked, as Father Frederick ordered.
Е отрязани достъпа до църквата. Към гробището. Иначе ми так наверно бих могъл още да кача качеството му. На 1085 примерно.
Възможно, да.
И пак да не вземе да поферира нещо.
The names carved in stone are no longer legible.
Да.
Its branches are stretching over the graves. William will rest in this cold grave whole truth, even if I go through hell for it. One of the crypts of our family. I don't even know who's buried in it. The tomb of Jeremy Gordon.
Да проверим.
I can't leave now.
Нещо сме пропуснали. Явно ще е с гробаря.
The church. May I disturb you?
Not for long, I've got a lot of work to do.
Has Father Frederick returned yet?
No, he hasn't. It's a long journey from Winshire. He won't be back until tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I'd like.
You'd like to go inside the church, but I already told you about that. Now go. I have to finish this before dusk.
It's 7 o'clock. I should return to the main gate. If Herman is true to his word, his man will be waiting there for me. You must be Dr. Herman's man, is that right?
I'm not Herman's man. I just work for him from time to time. You're Samuel Gordon, aren't you? I've got something to deliver.
Yes, please give it to me.
Yeah, why not? I don't care who you are anyway. I was supposed to give this package to whoever came to this gate at 7. That's when my job is over. Take it so I can go.
Hold on a minute. Are you Mark?
Yeah, that's me. Why?
Harry said you had worked in our garden.
A couple of times. So what?
I'd like to ask you about William Gordon. What can you tell me about him?
Nothing. I barely knew him. I just worked in the garden. I'm in a hurry. Do you want anything else?
No, thanks.
Good. See you around.
Bye. I hope I'll find what I'm looking for. There's only a watch and a few trinkets in it. I'll open it. William made a remark of some kind here. A gold pocket watch. Beautiful handiwork. To my forgetful head, the path to the key begins in the library, on my work table, hidden away under the blue curtain of unwritten words.
Ajde към библиотеката.
There is nothing. There's a button under the inkwell. I'll try to press it.
Манетите ли бяха тук?
Сега ще видим.
Или ключ?
Отворихме сейфа.
There's a box of some sort. I'll take it.
Може и планетите да са. Да.
Сега.
There is nothing of interest there anymore. There is nothing of miniatures of the planets of the solar system, carved from hardwood.
Чуваме да редим.
Тук какви дискусии се водиха преди?
Така. Къде другия греша?
That's it. must be William's key.
Айде към кулата. Добре напредваме тази вечер.
I should unlock it. The door can't be opened. I left William's key on the other side of the door. The lock must have gotten stuck. The lid is locked. The lid is locked. The black rook is missing. The lid won't move. Astrological maps. William admired the stars and space. I don't think these can help me, though. Old maps. I'm not interested in them at the moment. The lid won't move. Several scrolls scribbled over with notes. There isn't anything useful on them. Lots of scrolls and papers, but none with William's writing. He must have been recording the important notes somewhere. As though I've heard that melody somewhere before. As though I've heard that melody.
Там на Рако нямаше ли активност?
The lock is stuck.
Заключено.
Чакай. Една книга тук намирал ли
The
си?
lid is locked.
Прегледах май всички, тя моя книга.
Не беше Библия, някаква книга тук се намираш. И вътре имаш ключ. Не се лъжа, беше тук. Е, това чекмедже ти примигва, дай с другия бутон ключката.
Пробваха. С двата бутона пробвам.
Може би се бъркам, не знам. Я ти в инвентара гледай си предметите. Си мисля, че имаше някакъв ключ скрит в книга, това си спомням. Не, най-вероятно няма да е. А раковата там имаш някаква кутийка в инвентара.
Дай да му тя музикална кутийка. И някакъв спомен просто, че е чувал.
Десен бутон, нищо не става върху него.
As though I've heard that melody somewhere before.
Някакъв лист хартия. От вратата е да се оборим ключа.
Пробвай навсякъде с двата бутона.
Няма голям избор, да ти кажа.
The lid is locked.
Просто трябва да гледаме надписа да някъде да има нещо отгоре. Аз понеже как гледам масивен съм так масивен. Чекмедже. По-малко ми трябва да преместим.
This title makes no sense. I'll have a closer look. There's a small key inside the book. The pages have been cropped so as to hide it. I'll take it. It's cold to the touch. Old maps, a globe, and a sextant. What did William need all this for?
Там взели нещо.
Да, черна топка.
Аха. Да, тя не е за тук.
The door won't move. The lid won't move.
Човек, почти съм сигурен, че от бюджето имаше нещо.
Пълно възможно.
Там вляво. Цъкни десен бутон.
To the bottom side of the drawer. The diary of William Gordon. William's diary.
Казах ли?
Excellent.
На места де си зациклял най-много там си спомниш какво са.
Finally learn what happened that night. March 21st.
Десен бутон на книгата.
I'm old. I know my time is drawing in, and that is why I want to put some sense into my life before I leave this world. I have contributed my last years to looking for the truth about my family and the blood that runs in my veins. Maybe it is also because of the guilt that I bear in my heart for the fate of my dear James. The fate that I didn't have the courage to change. After all the years spent with the old journals, I know at last what the goal of my search is. I must not lose time. March 23rd. In the chronicle of the manor and the old records in the library, I have learned things that were forgotten and much that is new. I learned that James is not the only one to have lost full control of his mind. Throughout the centuries, several of my blood ancestors have suffered from the same affliction that now curses James. It seems as though it is all somehow correlated, has a perverse purpose of some kind. I traced the family line and learned that every one of those poor souls had been born in the same week, repeating with a period of 2 centuries. Is the madness supposed to be punishment of some sort? A punishment for deeds so horrible that we have not been pardoned, even after 700 years? I am terrified by this idea. It follows me now, day and night. April 5th. I feel something is not right with me. I am weaker from day to day. My age has caught up with me at last. As the chronicle foretells, the way to revealing the truth is through 5 symbolic keys. I don't exactly know what their purpose is, but if they can lead me to the truth, I must obtain them. I have decided to pursue first the ones that have been carried over time far from my manor. Centuries ago, the keys were given to different men of our family for safekeeping, so that they couldn't be used together. Luckily, I still have my own with me, and obtaining James's key should not be difficult. If only I had known before what I know today, I would not have given it to him. The next one must be in the hands of Marcus himself, according to the records. The 4th one was given to Durham Gordon, the original owner of the remote manor in Wales. I must set off for Wales soon, that is certain. I still do not know where the 5th key is. Its origin eludes me in the many years of the past. When I obtain the other ones, I must find this last one too. April 15th. I have returned from Wales. My searching was futile. It was not easy to get into the family tomb. Unfortunately, I failed to reveal the next fragment of truth, and returned home empty-handed. Not all hope is lost, however. I will focus on the keys that James and Marcus possess. It should not be hard to obtain them. April 21st. I cannot change what has happened in the past of my ancestors, but I hope I can influence the events of the future. The curse that has plagued our family must be of dateless origin. It must stretch into times as distant as those of Marcus and Mordred, the first Gordons. I have decided to start looking for answers at the place where the body of Marcus rests. I know that the tomb is concealed in the dark underground of the parish. Its entrance has long been lost in forgetfulness. No one knows where to begin to look for it. I will set off for the vicarage tonight, April 26th. Whatever it is that is buried underneath Worm Hill, it is not easily within reach. It took me several days before I discovered an extraordinary pedestal with numerous tiny and meticulously shaped stones in the belfry. The whole pedestal is a complex mechanical lock. Surely it will open the way to the church's underground for me. I tried to change the positions of the opposite stones, but it was beyond my will.
Да, это позел картина
I was too tired to attempt to set up the mechanism properly. Before I left for home, I made a drawing of the whole mechanism and returned the stones to their original configuration. Tomorrow I will go to Worm Hill as early as possible. April 27th. Luck was on my side today. I opened the way leading to the tomb of Marcus. Surely, I'm the first one in centuries to have succeeded in doing so. How great was my surprise when I descended into the tomb. There was not a trace of Marcus's grave. Nothing. His body must be hidden somewhere. I hope that the answer lies in the 4 books surrounding the center of the tomb. Shall wisdom be your way? Writes an old text carved in stone. Even after his death, wisdom protects Marcus as it has in his life. I am almost positive that the first answer is map. Despite the darkness, I tried to write down the text from the books, but it was easier to memorize it. I also found it extraordinary, in all probability, a ceremonial object in the shape of a perfect sphere. When I touched it, it was as though whole long centuries breathed on me. An odd feeling. May 7th. I am afraid of this night. I have not slept for 2 days now, and I hear voices. Yes, human voices. There are dozens of them. Their whispering is melting my ears into a sea of horrifying noise. What's happening with me? Am I mad too? No, I repudiate that, now that I am so close to the truth.
Беше малко.
The lid won't move. The lock is stuck. It's strange to the touch. The lock is... these days. I'd better keep them.
ключ не намерили тук?
Не.
С десен бутон на книгата я прочиташ. Да. Но и шкафче, дето е вземали още активност или не?
I opened the way, surely. There was not a trace of Marcus's his body shall even after I also found it extraordinary. In all probability, what am I?
As though I've... Now, it...
И зрителите мълчат.
Гледай къде имаш активност и пробвай там. С двата бутона. Я десен бутон върху нея. Десен бутон. Пробвай стои да отвориш вратата или шкафчето.
I'll try to push the latch open. Success. I'm feeling
Искам награда от предаването.
My head.
Лека нощ. После следва чаптър 2.
Sir,
Тук още не е
you're
скрил
awake at last.
чаптър 1.
We were starting to worry that something might have happened
Ти ли го скипна?
What happened to you, Samuel?
I don't know.
Значи,
All of a
трябваше
sudden,
да
my
даде едно
head
клипче тук.
started to ache vigorously. I cannot remember anything after that.
Не, чакай, не, то си тук, още не е чаптър
Grace
2.
found you lying unconscious in the attic.
Yes, I was going to tidy up there when I saw you lying on the floor. I hurried to get Sir Robert, and then we carried you to your bed so that you could have a rest.
I told you, Samuel, that you should take a rest after such a long journey.
Perhaps you are right. I have no idea what happened. I vaguely remember having a strange dream, but I cannot figure out what it means.
Important thing is that you're all right.
Yes, that's true.
It would be best for you to sleep for a while.
This time, I will follow your advice, Robert.
Good. We shall leave you alone then. If it gets worse, come see me.
Thank you. Hopefully I will be all right now.
Come, Bates. We shall leave Samuel to his rest.
Yes, sir.
Robert is right. I should take a rest. Tomorrow, I'll find out more than today. I had a terrible dream. In the morning, my thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the door.
Sir! Sir! Open up!
What's going on, Bates?
Open up, sir! I have to tell you something.
Hold on, Bates. I'm there in a moment. What's the matter, then?
It's horrible, sir. Henry, our gardener. They found him in the garden pond.
Calm down, Bates. What are you talking about?
They found him dead this morning in the pond. I know what I am saying. I saw his body being dragged out.
How did it happen?
I have no idea. Detective Collier will tell you that. He has been questioning everyone for quite some time now, and he wants to speak to you too. He did not give any of us a chance to recover from the shock, not even Madam.
Where will I find him?
He's waiting for you in the common room. We had better go there right away, sir.
All right, let's go. Detective Collier.
Yes. Samuel Gordon, I presume. I need to speak with you. Mr. Gordon, do you know what happened?
Yes, Bates told me everything.
Good. I need to ask you a couple of questions. Shall we begin?
Yes.
Did you speak with Henry Stanton yesterday?
Yes, I only arrived yesterday, but I spoke with him during the day.
Oh, you arrived yesterday?
Yes, to attend William's funeral.
I understand. What did you speak with Stanton about?
I don't know exactly. It was a very trivial conversation.
Had you known him from before?
No, I only knew Mr. Dickens, who was Henry's predecessor.
That was before you left the manor?
Yes, about 12 years ago.
Okay, let's return to your conversation with Stanton yesterday. Did he seem strange to you? Nervous or disturbed?
No, nothing like that. He behaved normally.
So, you are saying that he seemed normal?
Right.
I spoke to Morris, your groom, before this interview. He told me that Stanton would often have a bit too much to drink.
Yes, I have heard the same.
Madame Victoria has also confirmed it.
What do you make of it?
Well, they found him in the garden pond, tangled up in algae. I don't know yet how he ended up in there, but the most likely explanation is that it was on account of his drunken state. He might have bumped into something, lost his balance, and fallen into the water.
Maybe. But don't you think the water would have awakened him?
No, exactly the opposite. It was water that caused his death. He fainted, fell into the pond, and the cold water did its thing.
Stopped his heart?
He wouldn't be the first drunkard to have drowned like this. What's ironic, however, is that it didn't happen in a lake or a river, but in a little bit of water in the back garden. Oh well, no man can choose his death. If there is nothing you need to ask, I won't be keeping you any longer.
Thank you.
I have all I need for now. Would you please see me out?
Certainly. Follow me, Detective.
I will now wait for Dr. Herman's report and close this case. Thanks for your time, Gordon.
You're welcome, Detective.
Goodbye.
Collier wants to close the case. Now that Henry is dead, I've got to find a way to obtain the second part of that strange object. According to both Bates and Collier, Henry's body was tangled up in algae when they found him. How could he possibly have drowned in this though? Something is glittering at the bottom. What could it be? Something is glittering at what could it... I shouldn't have made Henry clean the fountain. How could I have known that something like that would happen? The water is murkier than yesterday. Something is... What could it be?
Инвентара.
Не виждам скоро да.
Ама гледай, имаш и стъпки, но трябва да видиш.
There's a deep footprint in the mud. It looks quite fresh. Whom does it belong to? It's full of dry leaves. Nothing but leaves. It's locked. It's closed and probably full of whiskey. Henry hid it here so as not to carry it. Gardening tools and small tubes with fertilizer. I can't see a bill of exchange anywhere. Where could Henry have put it? There is nothing interesting. Seeds of some plants, maybe beans. Cans of paint and a tin with brushes lying on it. Only painter's stuff, nothing else. The Black Mirror Castle. It's full of clean water. I don't want to water anything. They're empty, ready for planting in. Rainwater. It will have to be cleaned before it can be used again. The leaves will begin to rot soon. The bags are soaked badly. Perhaps Henry forgot to burn the leaves. Who will take over his job now that this thing has happened? It's empty. Morris carried the hay sacks away in time before it started to rain. There's enough light in here during the day. Morris, do you have a moment?
Sure.
What do you think about what has happened to Henry?
It was to be expected. He drank way too much. I guess it had to end like this.
It sounds like you really don't care that it happened.
Well, we didn't exactly like each other, but I wish no ill will to anyone.
It was you who found him, right?
Yes, I needed something from the back garden, and as I was walking past, I noticed something floating in the fountain. I went closer to have a look, and he was totally tangled up in the weeds. I could see nothing except his coat.
Did you notice anything else?
No, I panicked, you see. I ran to the castle to get Bates to go have a look with me. I kept thinking I might have been confused and imagined it. But it really was Henry.
What happened next?
I rode into the village to get the detective. You know the rest.
So, Morris found Henry. Were you in the stable yesterday?
Sure I was. Where else would I have been?
The lights were not on.
Well, maybe I wasn't. Why are you asking? Oh, I can see where you're coming from. You're thinking that maybe what happened to Henry might not have been an accident and that somebody might have helped him into that pot. I may be a drunkard and a saucebox, sir, but I'm no murderer.
No one is calling you a murderer, Morris. I was just asking.
All right, fair enough, sir. If Madam learns that you are starting to suspect me, I may as well go looking for a new job. There's not much work available in this neighborhood. And besides, who would want to hire a man with one leg that is almost completely lame?
I'm not accusing you of anything, Morris. At least not yet. Morris, have you boarded up the old well like I asked you to yesterday?
Not yet, sir. I'll do it today.
It should have been done yesterday. I'm surprised that Henry didn't fall into it.
Excuse me, sir?
You know well how I meant that. I want to see it secured today, or you can start looking for a new job. Is that clear?
Sure, I'll do it. You needn't shout at me, sir.
I have no idea what has gotten into me. Why did I yell at him like that? I took a look around the fountain.
Sir, why would you bother with such a thing? Why not just leave it up to that detective?
Well, I can't help suspecting something's wrong about all of this. 2 unfortunate accidents in such a short time?
You said it, sir. They are accidents. Henry just got drunk as a stone, and this time his luck ran out.
Maybe. But never mind. I have come because of something else. I found a footprint in the mud by the fountain's rim.
But that's nothing strange. There must be lots of footprints there.
Well, this one is fresh and much deeper than the other ones. The person who left it there must have limped badly or been carrying something very heavy.
Are you suggesting it's mine? Well, why couldn't it be yours? It's mostly me who walks around the garden, and the footprint is probably from the morning I found him.
Maybe.
Sir, I told you I was home the whole evening. I've got no idea what happened that night.
How do you know that it was nighttime?
If I answer that now, could we stop returning to the subject?
We shall see.
I heard it from Dr. Herman when he was speaking with Colin.
What else were they talking about?
I was not really listening. I just overheard a couple sentences as I was walking by. Can I go now, sir?
All right. I'll ask Dr. Herman myself. Maybe I'm suspicious of him unnecessarily. But maybe not. I'll go see Dr. Herman and find out what he knows about that footprint. I will go then.
All right, sir.
Трябва да направим един сейф.
I can't leave now.
Tja se izmaknil vse.
What happened to Henry is awful. First William, and now... Henry liked to drink, but other than that, he was a good man.
I'm sorry, Victoria.
I would like to be alone now. Do you need anything, Samuel?
Dr. Herman, the physician, does he live in Willow Creek?
No, some time ago he moved into an abandoned house near the old mill. It is quite close on the road to Willow Creek, the only house far and wide.
Yes, I remember where that is. Thanks.
Please excuse me now, Samuel.
The door is open.
За да вземем малко вино.
Someone must be down there.
Ще пуснат една крипи музичка.
Wine kegs full of quality red. This well is from the era when the castle was under siege. It was supposed to connect the castle with an underground system of corridors, but that's merely old hearsay. No one has ever seen those corridors. It's several tens of meters deep, but the water from it can't be drunk. Bates?
Yes, sir?
Bates, can the fountain back in the garden be drained?
Yes, there is a big pump in the cellar. It controls the water flow for the whole castle. It is possible to adjust the water level. However, I do not think it is a good idea to drain it after what happened. And Detective Collier should probably be notified about it, sir.
I am merely considering all the alternatives. We have the right to find out what happened. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. In that case, it is probably best not to tell anyone. Is that what you meant, sir?
Very much so. You said you were there when they dragged Henry out of the fountain.
Unfortunately, I was. The sight was terrible.
I have to tell you something. I feel responsible for what happened to him.
Why would you say something like that, sir?
Well, I ordered him to clean the fountain. He did not want to do it, but I insisted.
You mustn't think that way, sir. Surely, if he had not been drunk, nothing would have happened. And I actually heard Dr. Herman say that his death occurred sometime after midnight. It is not your fault. Certainly he would not be cleaning it in the middle of the night.
I really hope so. Bates is probably right. Henry most likely fell in there by accident. Have you seen Robert today?
Yes, Sir Robert was reading the newspaper in the dining room this morning. If you would like to speak with him, I am sure you'll find him in his study.
I spoke to Collier. As you can imagine, he asked me a lot of curious questions. Tell me, what did he question you about?
Many things, but most of all, he was interested in the place where we found Henry. It was very unpleasant having to describe it all over again, sir.
Oh? Can you repeat to me what you told him?
I was afraid you would ask. Well, if I must. I was awakened by a sharp knock at the door of my room. Morris was shouting something about Henry. He seemed utterly confused, rapidly pouring out incoherent sentences. He wanted me to go with him to the back garden immediately. At that moment, I still had no inkling of what had transpired.
Did you go with him right to the fountain?
Yes, and only there did I realize what had happened. It took me a while to come to myself again, but then I went straight to the telephone.
What time was it?
It was about 6 in the morning. Collier and Dr. Herman arrived an hour later. That is all, sir. You know the rest.
Yes. Thanks for being so patient, Bates. When did Dr. Herman leave?
Half an hour ago. He took Henry's body to the old morgue.
Did he mention to anyone what he thought about all this?
He had a long conversation with a detective, but I have no idea what they were speaking about. I was so distraught, I was not really listening.
All right. That's all then, Bates.
Body is in the old morgue then.
What was Morris doing in the back garden so early in the morning? His work is in the stable, right?
Yes, but he sometimes helps with the gardening. Henry cannot do everything that needs to be done. I mean, he was not...
Bates, why don't you take the rest of the day off? You don't have to work under the circumstances.
No, sir. I do not want to just be sitting around brooding. I'd rather attend to my responsibilities. It helps take my mind off things.
I understand. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
They're full of clean water. The cellar is quite cold, so the water is always cool. I can't see anything special, just clean water.
Трябваше да поправиш
There's nothing in it.
системата.
This is where our best vintages are stored. The temperature as well as degree of dampness is ideal.
Разбира ги вината, обаче сам.
I have no time for that now. Water distribution controls. I have no idea which one does what. The pump is part of the entire water distribution system. It pumps the water in and out endlessly according to immediate needs.
Липсва екранчето, трябва да го намерим.
Do you need anything, sir?
I would like to ask you about something.
Certainly, sir.
Bates, that pump we talked about.
Yes, sir?
I think it is broken. Which valve controls the water level?
The pump works all right, sir. Only One of the input valves broke off some time ago. The water level can still be adjusted using the other valves. It just takes a moment to figure out the right setup for what you want to do.
How do I know if I have drained the fountain, then?
If I remember correctly, the second column from the right displays the level of water in the fountain.
I will give it a try. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
Целта му е виж да източиш това бездръжката.
Да за него.
Редувай ги там, това не беше сложно.
Случва е ти, където е дали източано.
Не, мисля, че той ще изкара от пазила, ако го направиш. Ето и такъв спомен. И очите му отгоре трябва да огаснат. И съвсем милиметърче.
Да, но няма и повече. Ще проверим, а може да източам.
Ready.
Сега не слях ключето.
I can't see anything, just mud. Where is that shiny thing? A sign of some sort, or a symbol. A symbol similar to that from the tower wall. Strange, a new symbol beside another corpse. I'll take a picture of it, just like the first symbol.
Ласкавото нещо не го намеряхме. Да им пуснем водата отново. Дали ще ни даде?
Do you need anything, sir?
Not really. I was just passing by. Today's newspaper. I don't want to read it. I need a word with you, Robert.
Yes, but I am quite busy at the moment.
I won't keep you long.
Yes, I'm listening.
Did you speak with Collier?
Yes, he detained me for over half an hour with those questions of his.
So, what do you think about all of this?
Me? Collier's theory seems logical to me. I do not believe anyone would want to kill Henry. Henry drank himself to senselessness many times before, but this time he was unlucky enough to fall into the pond. Cold water certainly had something to do with the body's condition. Being a physician, I can certainly attest to that.
You're probably right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I have a lot of work to do today.
Victoria is not willing to talk to me right now. Maybe you should talk to her instead.
You need to consider her age, Samuel. She just needs some time to herself. I'll talk to her in the evening.
You have mentioned often since I arrived that you have a lot of work. So, what are you working on?
Oh, I would rather not bother you with the details. Let's just say I'm carrying out specific research. Perhaps I will tell you more about it tomorrow, when I have some time. I need to leave for Ashbury this evening to check on some results.
Oh, all right. I must go now.
Right then. I'll return to my work.
Какво викаш преди малко?
Викам, че почва да му писва на Робърт от Самуел. Само го безпокои.
I leave him to his... there's no let. I'd like to speak with you, Victoria.
I'm not feeling well, Samuel. Please excuse me. I hope Robert will make up for the lack of my company.
All right. I'll come back later.
Ничто е много разговорлив.
I can't leave now.
Променило нещо. Когато не сме посещавали.
The ceiling has collapsed under its own weight. The old wing won't last much longer. Luckily, no one was here when it happened. Decayed wooden beams have broken up and fallen to the floor. The wooden ceiling is now unstable. It could collapse at any minute. The hole in the window lets cold wind and rain enter the room. If it rains like this tomorrow too, we'll have to patch the window up.
Мисията ми успешна в колата.
I have no idea.
It's pleasantly warm in here.
Do you need anything, sir?
Not really. I'll leave him to it. I can't leave now. Leave her up.
Так, някакви идеи.
Коли да разговориш с повечето хора и там ще излезе нищо.
Бе, колеги, всички тия.
Значи нещо има да правиш.
Все си мислят за този фонтан, ама това вече не ми дава активност.
Те трябваше първо да го източат, мисля, че да...
Източене?
Тогава трябва да вземеш оттам, имаше нещо. Не може да ти даде.
Няма, само една снимка там на ония символ и...
Снима ли они?
Да.
Що ми се струва, че някакъв ключ даваха на клипчето, не може да няма нещо. Сиди пак.
Да, именно, че имаше някакъв ключ, ама...
Трябва да може да го вземеш нещо. Мисля, че даже знам с другия бутон на мишката дали си штракнал, но мисля, че тогава го забелязваше или нещо такова беше.
Пробвах и с двата бутона. Каза, че след като източи фонтана и вече не се вижда блестящото му.
This must be the thing that glittered at the bottom.
Най-вероятно. Като се приближа до символа, тогава се виждал. Аз вече го знам за къде е.
some papers, and a few coins. The bill isn't here. Where could he have put it? A letter. It's addressed to Victoria. Madam, please regard this letter as one from an anonymous friend. One of your servants is not whom he pretends to be. You may find it interesting that he is an ex-prisoner.
That he is an ex-prisoner and a thief. On several occasions, I watched him sneak quietly into the castle cellar using the old back door. I saw that person take away several bottles of some of the best vintages of your wine that you value so much. No doubt, some of your other valuables have also gone astray. I decided to write you this letter to prevent further stealing. The person's name is Morris.
Henry meant to blackmail Morris. I am curious as what Morris will tell me about this.
Haydi savunmuyoruz.
Yes, sir?
Morris, I know you've been stealing wine from our cellars.
Me, sir? Who told you that?
No one told me. I read it in a letter that Henry wrote to Victoria. So what do you say about that?
Well, I only took a few bottles, sir. I swear. There's such a lot of them in there, I thought nobody would notice. It won't happen again, I promise. Will you give me that letter, sir?
All right, Morris, but I'm going to be watching you. Here it is. I will go then.
All right, sir.
Няма докарахме до никъде.
Все пак.
I often have headaches these days. I'd better keep them.
Картата вече ми е отворена.
Oh, Mr. Gordon. I would wish you a nice day, but that is not what it is today. To what do I owe you a visit?
Well, you told me yesterday to come over.
Let us not discuss things outside in the rain. Please follow me. Better, is it not? Do you mind going down to the morgue with me? I have a lot of work to do. We can speak there.
Not a problem. Let's go.
Watch out for the steps. There's not much light in here, and the dampness can make your footing dangerous. So, what do you want?
I have returned as per our conversation yesterday. This won't take long. I would only like to ask a couple of questions.
Let me guess. This is about William, right?
Yes. You mentioned some bad burns on his body.
On the chest area, to be more specific, yes.
So?
So what?
When we talked yesterday, you said you would tell me more about it. That is why I am here.
Is that what I said? Well, I can only repeat what I have already told you. Massive burns on the chest caused by an unknown object.
Is that all? An unknown object? What you're saying is different from what you already told me.
I cannot remember. Those were just initial theories, anyway. I have recorded everything in the post-mortem account. Shall I quote from it?
That won't be necessary. It seems Dr. Herman has lost his memory since yesterday. Why is he concealing what he originally wanted to tell me after we had first met? That death report would interest me, but not in his presence. I spoke with Detective Collier about Henry's death.
It was inevitable that he would end this way. He was a lost cause.
What do you mean?
Well, it certainly was not the first time something happened to that man after he drank himself into a stupor. I know this well because it was I who had to restore him to normalcy after the other bouts. It was not usually serious. However, on this occasion, he overestimated his capacity for drink for the last time.
This is rather awkward, but you see, Henry had something important that belongs to me. I have looked just about everywhere and have not found it. So it occurred to me that he might have had it with him, and that you...
So, what is this it supposed to be?
Actually, it's just a small piece of paper, but it's very important. Otherwise, I would not ask you.
You want me to search his personal belongings?
I would be grateful if you would do that, Doctor.
Gordon, that parcel is part of the evidence. I cannot just remove something and give it to you until the police have completed their investigations.
But that something was mine.
No matter. Until the case is officially closed, I cannot even show you any of those things.
I understand. Thank you, Doctor. At least I know where that blasted bill of exchange is. Dr. Herman, I'd like to ask you about something in connection with Henry's death.
Mr. Gordon, it was my impression that this affair is currently being investigated by Detective Collier. Is that so?
This affair, as you call it, happened in my garden. I have every right to be interested in it.
All right. What do you want to know?
I found a footprint right next to the fountain. It was quite deep and very recent.
Yes, we noticed it. Collier made a record of it in his papers. I do not know what else I can tell you.
Did you notice something odd about it?
What do you mean?
The person who left that footprint either limped or had been carrying something quite heavy.
You have an eye for detail, Gordon. That is exactly what Collier said.
So?
The trouble is, there are footprints all over the place, and they most probably all belong to your groom. What is his name again?
Morris?
Yes. You can exclude that one, though, if you thought of him as a potential murderer. Let me tell you why.
I'm listening.
I should not be telling you this, but it is your business in a way too, so... I have been doing autopsies for over 15 years, and I have never seen anything like this before. Something seemed odd to me the very moment we dragged him out of the pond. His skin was entirely white. You see, I know what the body of a drowned man looks like even after a month, but this was different. He looked as if he did not have a single drop of blood left in his body.
Maybe it was in the water.
Impossible, Gordon. I told you I know what a drowned man looks like. I have not mentioned this to Collier, however. He would think I am going mad. I need to prove my theory first.
So what have you found out?
Exactly what I expected. No blood. Not a single drop of it anywhere. As though something squeezed the life out of him, like the juice from an orange, and disposed of its skin in that fountain. This is not like anything I have ever witnessed.
I'm not a doctor, but I can see it's more than strange.
This is not strange, Gordon. It is flat out impossible. Even if someone deliberately wanted to extract all of his blood, there would still be some remaining in the organs and muscles.
So what's your opinion now?
I have no theories yet as to what my conclusions should be. I have no sensible explanation for what I found, but so far, nothing is indicative of a violent death.
Thanks for telling me this, Dr. Herman.
Listen, no one except the two of us is aware of this fact, and I would prefer it to remain that way for now. When you speak to Collier, do not tell him anything. I will tell him myself when the timing is appropriate.
Understood. I'll say nothing. You can take my word for it. Now that is truly weird. Doctor, do you think you could go outside for a moment so I could have a look around? I could forget my wallet on the table when you return.
Excuse me? If I had not known your family for so long, I would be offended. Look, I can see where you're coming from. I already told you the parcel has to stay sealed until the investigation is over. So forget it.
Само взима парите и не разкарва. Като тукашните джипите.
The lid is held shut by a large padlock. I won't get the padlock off without a key. A lot of torn papers are on the top. Somebody must have disposed of them only a little while ago. They're not wet. I'll have a look at them. Rotten garbage. I'm not going to dig in it. It was torn to pieces. Obviously, they didn't want anyone to read it. Dear H, my next delivery will reach you soon.
Delivery will reach you soon. You need not worry. Everything has gone smoothly. No one knows anything, and that is how it is going to stay. Do not forget that what I am doing here is for the good of science, and without your help, I would be unable to continue my research. I will send you my results, as usual, within the next month.
H. Herman is likely the addressee, but who's hiding behind the R? What kind of delivery are they talking about in that letter? I should ring the bell.
Yes?
Samuel Gordon, please let me in, Doctor. I need to speak to you.
Yes, come in. I am downstairs, in the morgue.
A model of a human skeleton watching over the hall, like a quiet guard in the darkness. Herman's private rooms are probably up there. I'm not going there. I'm feeling odd. Hopefully my headache won't return tonight and I'll have a good night's sleep. I don't know who this is. Maybe the former owner of the house. Herman uses it to carry the bodies. There are some things contaminated with blood. I'm not going to mess with it. Empty photographic developer canisters. Herman apparently takes the photos for death reports himself. The bottom is stained, probably by dried blood. There is nothing in them. Human muscles and certain organs. Legend is composed of a great number of Latin phrases. There's no point in studying them. I don't know what's in them, and I don't want to. I can't go any further. Herman would see me. Dr. Herman, I would like to speak to you.
Just a moment. So, what brings you here?
I've noticed the place can also serve as a dark room.
Yes. I'm developing the autopsy photographs here. No one provides such services in the village. It is almost like the Middle Ages around here. Nevertheless, one eventually gets used to it. Are you asking because you'd like to have some photographs developed? You see, Gordon, this is not a copier for tourists. You are standing in a morgue.
Oh yes, that's quite apparent. I only need very few pictures, though.
All right, then. But I will only do this because of my friendship for your family. Give it to me.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hold on. I would like something in return. I cannot get you the picture without it anyway. I have run out of toner. Would you bring me some from the village?
Didn't you just say that no one could provide that kind of service in the village?
Yes, and they do not. I have an agreement with old Murray. He orders me supplies from town. Tell him the toner is for me. He will gladly sell it to me.
Right. I'll be back.
Hello, Mr. Samuel. What a great big bang that was, eh? The second greatest today, I'll bet.
Hi, Vic. Are you counting the thunder?
Right.
Why are you sitting here like this in the rain? Wouldn't you rather be at home?
I don't mind the rain. And also, I can't go home.
You can't? You're in trouble, aren't you?
Well, it's that broken window from yesterday. Harry told my dad, you know. So I'm not exactly hurrying home.
Oh, I see. I have to go now. Be careful of the windows next to you.
I will. Throwing my ball to the other side would be a lot safer.
Na свете.
I wonder if
Oh,
it
то
too is for
скъпенко,
sale,
яко
or if
пазаринче
it's
има
part
и
of the
се.
inventory here. Hard to say among all these things. I can't see anything I need. I don't want to buy any of these things. It's mostly garbage. It only contains more trifles for sale.
Good morning. How can I help you?
A few days ago, a man pawned a certain object here. An article similar to this one.
I remember Henry pawned something that looked like that. Yes, that's true.
I'd like to redeem the object.
Certainly, sir. It's £35. And I require the bill of exchange with the owner's signed agreement, of course.
I'll give you the money, but you see, I haven't got that bill.
Sir, surely you know that I cannot return any pawned object without the corresponding bill of exchange.
I can understand why you do not want to release it without the bill, but I will pay for it.
I'm sorry, that's the rules.
That object is very important to me. I am willing to pay a special price.
That's possible, but how fair would it be to the owner if I sold their property to somebody else within the pawn period? According to the rules, the object belongs to them until the expiration date of the note has been passed.
Murray, Henry can't possibly redeem it.
How do you know that?
He's dead.
Dead? I'm truly sorry to hear that, but I'm afraid the owner's death changes nothing. The person who presents a valid bill of exchange and pays the designated price can redeem the object at any time then.
Please try to understand that I haven't got it. Wouldn't the money be enough?
I'm sorry. You can wait until the pawn period expires.
That's not an option.
In that case, I'm afraid I can't help you, sir.
Истина или лъжа? Ами так.
Абе, той е скъперника. Лъжи го там.
How about I let you recalculate the price? Shall we say double?
No, that's quite impossible. I don't want to lose my license because of your offer. Although I've got to admit it's very decent. There's nothing I can do. There are only 12 days left. Then you can have it.
I've heard various things about you, all right. But I thought you were more into money.
What do you mean by that? What have you heard, and from whom?
That doesn't matter now. Let's get a few things straight, Murray. We both know that all you care about is money. You're going to make me come back a few times and then negotiate a new price. So why don't we just skip all that and you tell me how much right now?
What did you say? Keep your damn money to yourself. Even loan sharks have their pride. From now on, we will only continue this conversation as a seller and a buyer. What else do you want?
Calm down. I didn't mean to upset you like that. I must find Henry's bill of exchange, no matter what. Murray isn't going to give me anything without it. Dr. Herman told me I could get some photographic toner here. Have you got any?
You're lucky. I've still got a couple of bottles left. I don't go to town every day, you see. Here it is.
Само предния ден да беше в града.
Thanks. Bye.
Yes?
Samuel Gordon, please let me in, Doctor. I need to speak to you.
Yes, come in. I am downstairs, in the mall.
I would like to ask you about something, Dr. Herman.
Go ahead, Gordon.
I have that toner for you. So, can you develop my film now?
Why not? But come back later. I have to finish my work before I can do the pictures. What is so important about this film that you have come to me with it?
You will see that for yourself, Doctor. They may be important, but they may be completely useless. Hello, Harry.
Welcome back, Mr. Gordon. Have you come to get a bite?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on. I know your Bates is not exactly a great cook.
It's not so bad. I have no reason to complain.
All right, if you say so.
Do you remember our conversation yesterday on how nothing ever happens around here?
Sure I do.
Well, unfortunately, something did happen.
Oh, you mean Henry?
How do you know?
Well, news travels around here fast. Poor Henry. He was a good regular. We sure drank a fair amount together.
So how long had you known one another?
Since the time he started working for the manor. Which in fact means the day he arrived here. I remember when he first showed up, all sweaty with a suitcase in each hand. He took no time to order the 2 pints right away. I knew right off that we would understand each other.
Did he have any friends in the neighborhood?
Probably not. You see, he was kind of a loner. I don't think he knew anyone else. He used to only come here.
Thanks anyway, Harry.
You're welcome, Mr. Gordon.
Harry, tell me, is Mark reliable?
Well, that depends. He's not exactly a saint, you see. But I reckon he'll do what you tell him for a pound or two.
I need to talk to you.
Go ahead, but make it quick.
Tell me, did you know Henry Stanton?
No, I didn't. Should I have known him?
Well, he worked as a gardener for us, but he died yesterday.
Sounds like I'll get to meet him soon now. You want anything else? I'm not interested in company.
No. I'll leave you alone. Hello.
Hello?
Did you know Henry Stanton?
Henry? I saw him in the pub sometimes. He didn't talk much, so I really didn't know him. Now leave me to my sport.
Good morning.
Might be good for you. What do you want?
Tom told me you worked for Dr. Herman from time to time.
Tom tends to have a bit too much to say. I've been unemployed for some time now, so I've been taking what odd jobs are offered to me. I've got to make money somehow, and it sure is better to do stuff for Dr. Herman than that dirty bastard Murray.
Well, I need a certain favor from you. As a matter of fact, it has to do with Dr. Herman.
So what's the deal?
This is what I want you to do.
I'm listening.
I need you to come to his house at a particular time and keep him busy for a couple of minutes. Ring the doorbell and wait until he comes upstairs. Talk about whatever you want. Just keep him there for as long as you can.
Well, I don't quite like that plan, to tell you the truth. It doesn't look exactly innocent, does it? Also, if Herman learned about my getting involved in some scam on him, he'd never hire me again. You better find someone else for this.
Истина или лъжа?
Истина.
Къде сме следвали? Лъжа.
И както решиш, ама ония се опъна там. Искаш да го лъжи?
Someone else,
Трябва
you
да
say?
знае.
Didn't you just say you had
Добре,
no
давай
money?
лъжата.
That's right, but I'm no cheap slave either.
Fine. I can get someone else to do it for £10.
What did you say?
I said I should be able to get some other punk for the job for £10.
Keep your bloody money to yourself. I don't need to listen to this.
So how about 20?
Did I hear 30? Say 30 and I'll even forget about the punk.
He's smarter than he looks. I said 20, but never mind. Half now, half after the work is done.
Don't you believe me? I may be a punk, but I keep my word. Lay 30 on the table and it's settled.
All right. Now wait 15 minutes, then follow me to Dr. Herman's. And don't make me come back and pick you up off the bar.
Don't worry, man. Old Mark always does what he promises.
You said yesterday that you used to help in our garden.
A couple of times, yes.
So you knew Henry, our gardener, right?
Yes. I don't want to talk about him after what has happened.
When did you last speak with him?
Well, yesterday evening. I met him just a short distance off the road to the village.
What time was that exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. I already told you that. I don't feel like getting involved in anything.
I'm not the police. You needn't worry. What did you speak about?
It was just a couple of sentences. I'm not sure.
Was he acting normal? I mean, was he sober?
Yeah, he was, that's for sure. It's true that he used to drink a lot, but he didn't drink every day. And yesterday, he was sober. I would have noticed.
Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome.
So, Henry was still sober in the evening, and they found him drowned at dawn. That doesn't make much sense. I walked quickly to the morgue to get there before Mark. I hope he'll show up on time, as we have agreed.
Yes?
Samuel Gordon, Please let me in, Doctor. I need to speak to you.
Yes, come in. I am downstairs, in the morgue.
Can I speak with you for a moment, Dr. Herman?
Yes, but I told you I have no news. This needs time. So if you keep interrupting me...
No. I'm here because of something else.
Yes?
Well, the thing is...
So what is it you want, Gordon? I do not have the whole day for you.
Where the blazes is that mark?
Did you say something?
No, you see, I just...
Now who could that be? Damn. Who is there? Wait for me here. I will return shortly.
Of course. You needn't hurry. I thought my blood pressure was going to hit boiling point. Now where's that bloody bill of exchange? Maybe I should start with his table.
Гробови брада. Става морец там, тук са празни вани. Аз го гледам. Че заради него ще го гледам.
Is this what I think it is?
Става шоу.
An old microscope. A piece of plastic for making imprints. It could come in handy. Lots of things, but nothing I'd need. There's a label with Henry's name on this box. Henry's bill of exchange. Excellent. I've examined it thoroughly. It no longer contains anything of importance. I don't need anything else from it. Better not to imagine what's in it. Herman probably uses it during autopsies to dispose of pieces of flesh. Henry's bill of exchange. It wasn't easy to obtain. Finally, I can get that thing that Henry pawned. A special plastic for making imprints, I'd say.
Ако за поле ще ми чудо просто.
Парля резенчета вътре.
Да. Паметна сцена има там.
Leaving yet. I need to find out more. I'm not leaving yet. special plastic for making imprints, I'd say.
Паше. To the garbage container at the front of the morgue is in this bundle. I wonder what Herman was disposing of so quickly. It must be the large one. The other keys are small. I can't pick it up right now. Herman would surely notice. I made an imprint of the key in the plastic. Herman is returning. I can hear him on the steps.
Are you looking for something in particular?
No, of course not. Well, I've never been to a morgue before. I'm just curious.
You have some odd interests, I can see that. What were we talking about?
I've forgotten completely. It can't have been anything important.
So be it then. I do not have the time to be talking to you constantly. No offense intended.
Oh, it should be me who's apologizing. I won't disturb you any longer. See you, Doctor.
Goodbye, Gordon.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I'd like to redeem the object we talked about, Murray.
Surely you remember you must present a valid bill of exchange.
Don't worry. I have it. Here.
Yes. Everything seems to be all right. It's £40, sir.
Didn't you say 35 at first?
Oh, you're right. Excuse me, I've made a mistake.
Sure.
I'll go get it for you right away.
Bye. I picked this part up in the pawn shop. The parts have clicked into one another. The key is now accurately imprinted in the plastic. A perfect copy.
How can I help you?
I want to ask about something. Harry, you know everyone around here. Would you happen to know someone who can make a key?
Oh, I'm not sure if he's the man for the job, but Mark here has a few skills. Just ask him.
All right. Thanks. May I bother you for a moment?
Well, if you must. But not for long. I've been getting some good hands.
I need someone to make a key for me. Harry said you can do it.
A key's no problem. Give me the original and I'll bring it back with a copy in a little while. And it's for free. I'll just assume it's part of our deal today.
Trouble is, I only have an imprint.
That's going to be a lot harder. I've never tried it with an imprint before. Just give it to me and pick up the result in an hour or so. I'll see what I can do.
Good. Here it is.
See you later.
I can see you wasted little time spending my money.
It's mine now and I'll spend it however I want.
I have no problem with that.
Did you have enough time to do what you needed?
Yes, I did. But maybe you could have rung a bit earlier.
What were you doing down there anyway?
That's none of your business, really.
Yeah, I've got no problem with that. If you need something again, you know where to look for me.
The church is locked. The church is locked.
Что, купаем ли? Идёшься? На обдукшените да бяха сложили една карта и директно като цъкнеш да се телефон.
I have nothing to talk to him about. It's empty. I have nothing to tell him.
Так, мисля да приключваме за тази вечер.
Да, достатъчно.
3 часа и половина.
Така ще продължаваш.
Нямам, чуя се. Ти по принцип събота и неделя.
И... Не знам утре дали ще сядам, в неделята май няма да мога, не съм сигурен още.
Иначе чак другия петък.
Не, ти ако искаш ще стримвай, ако утре сядам ще ти пиша.
То евентуално за утре, ако реша нещо, дето в неделята не съм сигурен. Се чуем сега нещо, ако си свободен, може и решим.
Добре. Тогава айде лека.
Лека ми так.